The air seems charged with a silent anticipation, a shiver running through the soul of those who know how to listen. For a long time, there has been talk of a sign that will change everything, a sign promised by the Madonna at Medjugorje. But before this happens, there will be a warning, a powerful, inevitable call that will shake consciences and force humanity to look within. What will it be? How will we recognize it? And most importantly, will we be ready? Those who follow the apparitions of Medjugorje know that the time of mercy will not last forever. The Virgin has spoken of events that will precede the great sign, events that will serve as a final call to conversion. It will not be something vague or confusing, but a tangible experience, both personal and collective. A warning that no one will be able to ignore, a moment in which every person, regardless of their beliefs, will see their soul reflected in the light of truth. It will be an instant of total awareness, a rupture in the illusion of everyday life. We will see our mistakes, our omissions, the good we could have done but failed to do. It will be a deep interior pain, but also a grace, because in that moment, everything will be clear. There is a moment that will precede everything, an instant that will shake the world before the great sign manifests. This warning will be an inescapable call, one last attempt from heaven to awaken souls before it is too late. The prophecies of Medjugorje speak of an extraordinary event that no one will be able to ignore, something that will place every human being face to face with the truth of their own life, without any possibility of escape or concealment. It will be a moment of profound revelation, in which each person will see their soul through the eyes of God. And it will be terrifying for those who have lived in sin, for those who have rejected grace, for those who believed they could postpone indefinitely the most important choice of all, the choice between light and darkness. It will not be a physical sign, at least not at first. It will be something deeper, more intimate, more devastating. It will be like a spiritual mirror, an interior experience that no one will be able to avoid. Some will feel indescribable joy, a peace never known before, because they will realize they are on the right path. Others, however, will be overwhelmed by terror, by the awareness of how far they have strayed from God. It will be a powerful call to conversion, but also a moment of great trial, because those who refuse to accept this warning, who reject it, may seal their fate forever. The warning will be a moment of interior and universal upheaval, an experience that no one will be able to escape. According to the prophecies of Medjugorje, this event will precede the final sign and serve as a powerful call to conversion, a last appeal before the time of mercy gives way to the time of justice. It will be like a mirror for the soul, a moment in which every human being will see themselves through the eyes of God, without veils, without excuses, without lies. It will be an intimate yet collective experience, a flash that will tear apart certainties, a thunderclap that will awaken slumbering consciences. Many visionaries speak of an interior illumination, a moment in which every man, woman, and child will understand the truth about their life, the choices they have made, and the consequences that follow. It will be a personal judgment in advance, a preview of the final judgment, but with one key difference. It will not yet be the moment of condemnation, but the last opportunity. Some will experience deep sorrow, others an indescribable fear, while still others will feel a love so overwhelming that it will shatter all doubts. It will be an event that shakes the world to its core, something visible and tangible, yet at the same time, something that will happen within each person. No one will be able to escape it. No one will be able to ignore it, because it will be imprinted on the soul like a fiery mark. It will be an instant outside of time in which every individual will see their life with the clarity of God, feeling the weight of their actions and omissions. The righteous will understand how much their love has been welcomed in heaven, while the lukewarm and those far from God will be confronted with a truth they will no longer be able to deny. It will be a sharp pain, a tear in the soul, because it will be impossible to hide from the light of truth. The prophecies speak of a great sign in the sky that will accompany the warning, perhaps a cosmic phenomenon, perhaps a brilliance that science will not be able to explain. It will be something that stops the world, that breaks daily life, an event that marks the turning point. After it, nothing will ever be the same. Some will feel true repentance and throw themselves into the arms of God's mercy, while others, blinded by pride, will reject the truth and harden their hearts even more. This warning will not be just an inner sign, but will also have physical and spiritual repercussions. Many may faint from fear, while others may cry out in despair. It will be a unique experience in human history, a moment when the veil between the visible and the invisible will be torn apart. For some, it will be a blinding light awakening their conscience. For others, it will be a suffocating darkness revealing the distance between them and God. But what comes next? This warning will be the last call before the visible sign, the ultimate proof that humanity has entered a decisive time. Those who embrace it with an open heart will find the strength to face what follows, while those who reject it will fall into deception and despair. After this event, the world will never be the same. People will no longer be able to pretend ignorance of spiritual reality because they will have experienced it firsthand. Will it be a gift or a condemnation? That will depend on how it is received. For those who allow themselves to be transformed, it will be the gateway to salvation. For those who reject it, it will be the beginning of ruin. The warning will not only be a moment of pain, but also of hope, for it will offer the opportunity to choose, to change, to set one's path straight before it is too late. After the warning, the sign will come, the long-awaited sign, the sign that will remain visible forever. It will be a gift for those who have believed, final proof for those who have doubted, and a sentence for those who have rejected it. But reaching that moment without having heeded the warning will be an irreparable mistake. That is why we must prepare now, without hesitation, without waiting until it is too late. Preparation is not just about prayer, but also about inner purification, returning to the sacraments, abandoning sin, sincere forgiveness, and total trust in God. The Virgin Mary has repeated this for years. Pray, fast, confess, return to God. This is not advice, it is an urgency. And when the sign appears, when the whole world sees it, it will be too late to change one's mind. It will be an indelible sign, one that no science or human reasoning can explain. And yet, despite its obviousness, there will still be those who reject it, because a hardened heart does not open even in the face of the greatest miracle. This is why the warning is so important. This is why we must take it seriously. We stand on the brink of an epochal change, a moment that will mark human history. We cannot remain indifferent. We must choose, and that choice cannot be postponed. The warning will come when we least expect it, and those who are ready will welcome it as a blessing. Those who have lived far from God will see it as judgment. But this is not about fear, it is about love. Because God never leaves us without a way out, without an opportunity to return to Him. So ask yourself, are you ready? Have you prepared your heart? If the warning came tomorrow, how would you react? Would you recognize God's voice, or would you be overcome by panic? There is no more time for compromises, for half measures. There is only one path, the path of true faith. Prepare your soul, open your heart, respond to the Virgin Mary's call. The time of trial is near, but with faith, with prayer, with total surrender to God, we can face it without fear. And when the sign appears, we will be ready to welcome it as the greatest confirmation of divine love. Do not wait, the time is now. The Virgin Mary has asked us to prepare, not to wait for everything to happen before converting. The time to change is now. But how does one prepare for such an overwhelming warning? Through prayer, sincere repentance, and a heart open to the truth. Those who have already begun the journey of faith will experience it as a confirmation, an invitation to persevere. Those who have ignored heaven's calls may face a trial too difficult to bear. Merciful Lord, open our hearts to your light. Grant us the strength to recognize the truth and the courage to convert. May the great warning not find us unprepared, but ready to embrace your call with humility and love. Most Holy Mary, refuge of lost souls, guide us on the path to salvation, protect us from spiritual dangers, and grant us peace in our hearts. Saint Michael the Archangel, defender of the faith, fight for us against the snares of the evil one and shield us in this time of trial. We entrust our present and our future to you, certain that in your hands we will find refuge and hope. If this message has touched your heart and you believe in the importance of spreading these truths, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and leave a comment. Together, we can keep watch and prepare for God's great plan. May the Lord bless and protect you always.